Ladies and gentlemen, Trishia, Yearwood, and Garth Brooks. Thank you very much. How are you guys?
There's a bunch of folks.
It's good. Merry Christmas to everybody. Sorry, we're working on that. We're just finishing up the Christmas record, so that's how we're greeting everybody for the last 3 months. Don't really know much about an opening statement. I can tell you this. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. I feel sorry for these people that are coming tonight because I've had some rest. This is going to be stupid. It's going to be great. And it's going to be the perfect way to kick off the shows this weekend. Very rarely will you have an opening night in the middle of the week. We feel very lucky with the situation here, and we are going to make them pay for it, trust me. Everybody's excited. It feels like it's been a year and a half since we've been off. Miss Yearwood, as soon as we came off the road, she started filming her cooking show, so she hasn't had the time off that I've had. But so I'm really ready to roll. It's going to be fun.
Ready.
I know you're ready. Let me forgive me for the mics. What we do is we use this audio for other things down the line. That's why we're hanging on to them. In a room like this, we should need them, but that's why we do. And then for me, I can't speak for Miss Yearwood, but for me, I feel a lot better when talking with you instead of at you. So we love questions. My only thing is if you're going to ask a question, please identify yourself so we'll know who we're talking to. And then we're going to do some one-on-ones afterwards as well. Okay, very good. So if you wouldn't mind, that would make me feel a lot more comfortable. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm from the Star Phoenix, the daily newspaper here.
Hi, Miss Stephanie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You weren't born yet last time we were touring. Welcome.
That's okay.
Actually, I was, but I appreciate that very much. So you were part of a press conference as these tickets, or conference call as these tickets were going on sale. So tell me a little bit about that experience as you were adding the shows.
Oh, they'll just text you or call you and say this is what's going on. And our thing is always, mainly the reason they'll call you is if they're stuck between, okay, do you want to play to half a house or do you want to call it? Because if you put another one on, it's probably not, we don't have enough numbers to sell it. The answer is always, we just want to play. That's all we want to do. I don't care if there's 5 people out there, 500, whatever the number is. The show is still all about those people walking out, hopefully saying that was the best show I've ever seen. That's the goal. Whether they do or not, it's their call. But that's the goal for us. So that's fun to see. The final numbers on this was, well, I want to say stupid again, but it was awesome. It was crazy. Nobody was more shocked than we were. And we feel very lucky. And I don't know how to say this without sounding egotistical. We've been in this position a lot on this tour, which is nice. It's really good and sweet that people are showing up in this number and with the attitude. I know these people. They're going to show up with the right attitude. They're still not going to be prepared. I'm going to kick their ass. You can just put that down if you want.
It's pretty cool to get the call though, and it's like we're going to put on another show, and then 5 minutes later you get another call. It's like we're going to put on another show. So this was really an exciting on sale.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. What is it? Miss Megan, nice to meet you.
I'm wondering, what do you think it is about your music and you, and this might be hard to answer, that resonates with fans?
It's not hard to answer for me. I have no idea. I never have. I can take you to Nashville. Me and you go walking to Nashville. I can show you guys that are 10 times more talented than me, 10 times, 1,000 times better looking than me. I have no idea. If God came down with his hand closed and said, and here's the answer, and he opened it up, I'd love for it to say the music. That's what I'd love for it to say. But I can't explain it. Yes, ma'am.
Stephanie with CTV News.
I'm Stephanie.
You're the kind of artist, both of you, where you give 110% every performance. How do you do 2 shows back to back and keep that energy and keep your health and keep everything going?
Well, first of all, screw the health. I mean, because it's just, you belong to them. You just do. I myself am a product of them. So what they bring, you will see in me. So if they wear me out the first show, that second show's got to bring in enough energy to put air back in the tires and run again. And they do. That's what's sweet. It's funny how you would think, I would think that it would be, there's a chance that on a night there'd be two totally different crowds. But not really. That first crowd, if it's running, that second crowd kind of comes in right where they picked off. It's crazy, right where they left off and pick up on it. And it's kind of crazy. So if you're in for a good early night, get ready because the late night will be really crazy. Because that late night's a little more hydrated. Yeah, I guess it's that term. Yeah, a little more oiled up, ready to go. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Local Radio.
Hi, Shauna.
You guys are going to be in our beautiful city now for a number of days. Are you going to have a chance any downtime to explore anything, see our beautiful riverbank, or do anything on your to-do list for our city?
We try to get out and see. I don't know. We just landed and walked over here, so I don't know what is on the list of things to do, but we'll find out.
We have been off because her cooking show window came up, so the band and crew has been off. And when they're off, they're working too, because they're in tweaking everything and getting it back up, ready to fly again. So we haven't seen each other in about 2 weeks. This crew is so tight, 2 weeks is a long time for us, so I'm going around hugging everybody, it's like seeing them again for the first time. So yes, we do everything together, team dinners, we do everything. We are a team, we're a sports team, it's how we like to have always looked at it. Problem is, the only color we ever pack is black, that's it. So we look like this little black crowd, there's 50 of us. It looks like this little black cloud going around the city. You can't hide us, we're not trying to hide, but so you'll see us all the restaurants, all the local food places. What we do is come here, just throw down the gauntlet and immediately go, okay, what's the best local food? How does it make it different from everything else? And then if you play your cards right, they start shipping the food here, and then you have to compare, and you have wars against the pizza places and stuff. It's fantastic, and you don't get to be 260 without working at it.
What's the thing here that if you had to say, if you got to go try this place,
Oh yeah,
what
what's
would
your
be the
dog place, what's your burger place, pizza place?
Restaurant? Oh man, you know what? There's a great Italian restaurant, and I told this to Oprah Winfrey when she was here. It's Taverna, it's downtown, and it's a fabulous Italian restaurant.
Taverna.
And it's family owned. And Oprah Winfrey went there when she was here 2 years ago, and she raved about it. So
Really?
that gives you an indication.
Oprah says it's good.
Oprah approved.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that. Yes, sir.
Could you tell me about technology? If you would have had all the social media stuff for the both of your careers at the start of your careers in the late 80s, early 90s, what kind of things would you have loved to have been able to do at the start of your careers with all the Facebook and Twitter and all that type of stuff that you've got at your disposal now?
I am grateful for so many reasons that there was not a lot of social media when I was just starting out, when I was 26 years old.
How
And
about
not,
when you were a teenager?
Right. I think about our kids on social media, and I'm just grateful. That's all I would have to say, is that it's good. I mean, I think that in country music, we are a genre that is more connected probably with their fans than any other form of music. So we already had the communication with fans that I don't know that other forms of music have. Social media has taken that to another level. When Garth retired and I was living in Oklahoma with him, and I wrote the first cookbook, my way to communicate was through social media, and it kept me in touch with everybody, even though I wasn't on the road. And so I think it's a like Garth always says, everything's a blessing and a curse. But the blessing is that it does allow you that communication. You just have to be careful about what you say. And you have to also be careful not to respond to everything that you read.
And I'm sorry, I forgot to identify who it was. Jay Richards with the phone.
How you doing?
Very well yourself.
Good, thank you. Social media has been defined as what we're going through now, but we've always had social media. It's just telegraph, telephone, tell a friend, and that's always how it's been. But let's take Ireland, for example, Dublin, Ireland, to start this tour. We don't do social media before this tour. We just didn't. So even when social media was going, we remained kind of silent. We were raising our babies. I was, Miss Yearwood had her cookbook thing going and her cooking career going. But as far as my side, stayed quiet. I was just getting to be a dad, thank God. And these children were first and foremost, so social media wasn't in. What happened in Ireland then was a different kind of social media, an old school type of social media, where the stories that were told to these people by people who were at the concerts in the 90s, and a story that's 5 years old is better than the story itself, right? So I was 6'8", head full of hair. I was beautiful, right? So the tickets go on sale for Dublin, 400,000 hard tickets in one city, 400,000. Crushed all kinds of records, and I think it was because the stories because social media did not let you in on who the guy really was. It was more the stories of the lore of who this guy was. We're going to go see this. And so it's funny how it works both ways sometimes. Yes, sir. What is it? Brent.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You have a lot of songs that people want to hear every night that you play. How do you sort of keep those fresh and keep yourself fired up to make some
Okay, this is going to sound egotistical, but remember we're talking about the music. The music has made the leap of time. Am I as excited to play Baton Rouge today as I was when we first got it? Yes. How is that possible? It's a song. It's a song and what it does to those people. Friends in Low Place would be the one that you would go, that would be the one. What a well-written, well-crafted song. All pure rhyme, which pure rhyme, if you're into songwriting, one of the great things about pure rhyme is it's like breathing in, breathing out. There's no obstacle in pure rhyme. It just slides right out. It feels so good to sing. And in Friends in Low Places, I'll sing maybe a word of it. Everyone else is singing. Easiest gig on the planet. So it's fun. I think you'll see if you've ever seen a Garth show, or if you attend this one, about halfway through you'll go, damn, this guy doesn't do anything. We're doing all the work. And that's what'll happen. You just start it, watch them, and that's what kind of makes it fun, because I'm getting to see them like a fan watching an artist. I'm getting to see them, and believe it or not, the more people you get in one room, the more they start to act like one person. So they start to control them. So you can just move them along just because they all start to act together. And when that happens, yeah, I can speak for her as an entertainer. You sit there and just go, this is the greatest gig on the planet, because you're just watching now. And when it's in that mode, you just enjoy the ride for however long it lasts. Yes, sir.
Dave Geiger, Star Phoenix.
Hey, Dave.
Hey. Now, again, you talk about myth and reality.
Right.
As the story goes, you lasted around 23 hours. First time, many moon ago, when you went to Nashville. How accurate? Like, was it actually less than a day?
23 hours.
Before you went back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's funny to remember every second of it, too.
Is that right?
Remember every second. I was scared to death. I can't tell you how many people I've ran into that I felt so good because they go, man, when I got here, I thought it was going to be all straw hats, gooseneck trailers, thought this was going to be cowboy country. And it wasn't. And everybody gets shocked by that. It's suit and ties. It's the business end of it, which I had never stuck my finger in, So it was a huge awakening for me. And the amounts that songwriters were getting paid then, I was making more money working at a sporting goods store and playing nights there in Oklahoma than most songwriters were making there in Nashville. So it was a real eye opener for me. 23 hours was the number. It rained when I got there, rained the whole time, and rained when I was leaving. It was just one of those things. Probably the best thing in the world that ever happened to me. It wasn't enjoyable at the time, though. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Alicia from CBC Radio.
Oh, so you're not with Star Phoenix then?
No,
Here. Okay.
no,
Gotcha.
we're just friends.
Gotcha.
When you took your time off to be with your kids, what did you learn about yourself that you hadn't realized when you were touring kind of in the spotlight when you got that time with them? What did you reflect on when you learned?
Yeah. It's funny, all you want to do as a child is make your mom and dad proud. That's all you want to do. Then you start to figure out what you think that is that will do that. What's your line of work? What's it going to be? Music. It's going to be mine. And since my mom was a singer on Capitol Records and my dad taught me how to play guitar, there it was. So that was going to be the greatest thing in the planet. We had a great run in the 90s. Forgive me if that sounds egotistical, but we had a great run. It was 1/1000th the feeling you got of being a dad. That's the greatest feeling on the planet. Highlight of my life were my 3 daughters and marrying the love of my life. That was it. I never thought anything would thrill me more than playing music. But no offense to music, it cannot compare. So those were great, and that's when you really want to make your mom and dad proud. is to be a good parent to your children. So that was probably what I learned most there. Forgive me, I miss those days immensely. Our youngest is...
You also learned how to pin curl hair.
Yep.
That was good. You learned how to make burritos.
Yes. These poor kids.
These were big things.
These poor kids were in the cracker before Mr. Wood showed up. As far as Dad was concerned, they'd have chicken strips and macaroni and cheese every night for dinner. And they didn't complain about it. They loved it. But yeah, one of the greatest gifts that ever happened in our life, and those three girls will tell you this too, was the day she showed up. It was a good lick for us. But they became to have three parents instead of two, and it was wonderful for everyone. Because it was three kids, three parents, so nobody ever got left out. If there were track meets, soccer games, everybody always had a parent there. Nobody ever missed anything. So it was good times. Everybody good? Oh yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Can you talk about passion? Passion for making the music, the passion that your fans have for the two of you on stage doing what you do, and that relationship between you guys and your fans, because the reason that you make music now has to be for passion.
I mean, I can speak for myself and say that I never, if you would have asked me at 5 years old what I wanted to do, I knew. I never had, I've always wanted to be a singer. I never had a backup plan. And I feel really lucky that I've had a chance to do what I really love to do. I would be singing somehow, you know, I'd be at the Holiday Inn 5 nights a week or something, you know, just, I can't imagine not doing it. So for me, it wasn't really a choice. It was just almost a calling, and like, how, I gotta figure out how to do this. I'm from a really small town of 2,000 people, and so nobody in my town had any connection to the music industry or anything like that. So for me, it was, oh, you sing, you'll sing in the church choir, you might teach music, you know, and all honorable things, but I wanted to do something different. So I'm grateful every day. And the more I get to do it, the more grateful I am, because I realize that everybody, no matter what you do for a living, you're lucky if you get to love what you do.
Yeah, I don't know what passion is not in. Passion, I think, is how well of a job you want to do at whatever you're doing at that time. So my father taught me about handshakes. The intensity of the handshake measures the intensity level of how sincere you are to meet somebody. If you give somebody the thing that isn't very intense, it's almost saying, now I'm not saying he's right, but that's what I was raised on. So everything from taking out the trash, get passionate about it, man. Be the best trash taker out there is, you know. Dad, you be the best dad there is. If you fall short of being the best dad is, you've been the best dad you can be, you know. So passion is a blessing and a curse. There's guys in this field that are passionate about what they call traditional country music. I can mention an artist right now, Alan Jackson, traditional country music artist, will not wave from being traditional country music. Traditional country music is being left behind. He's not going to change to be cool. He's going to stay to what he's passionate about. Sometimes passion is the thing that brings you down. Talk about passionate about songwriters surviving in this business. There are going to be companies that own this business that you look at and go, can't do it because it ain't right. In my mind, doesn't mean I'm right, but that's what I believe in. So there are going to be guys that you do that to because you're passionate about making sure that these songwriters who are the seat of everything gets their due. Whether you're right or wrong, doesn't matter. When you talk about passion, that's what makes your decisions. And I can't imagine anything in my life that I'm not passionate about. Because if I'm not, it's not in my life. Does that make any sense? Yes, ma'am.
Megan Willis, CKRM.
Hi, Megan. And who are you with?
CKRM.
Oh, very good. Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk about your relationship with Saskatchewan and what it means to be back here after so long, and you visited and the Children's Hospital of Saskatchewan?
Yeah, what she's referring to is I'm lucky enough to be part of a foundation called Teammates for Kids, born in 99, the year we stopped touring. So this is the first time that the tour and the foundation have kind of been together, and it's really amplified a lot. So we're going on 20 years on these things, and one of the passions that we have are these things called kids zones in hospitals. And we're getting ready to launch our very first international one up here in Canada. So guys like Chaser and these guys have been great, these hockey players that come up and make sure that these places kind of get funded and put to work. So we're excited about that. So it'll be another year and a half, I think, before that thing's open. But I love the fact of just getting to play music and help kids. Because these hockey players, football players, baseball players, they get a bad rap a lot of times in journalism, just because they're young kids with a lot of the world thrown at them, so they don't react the same way I wouldn't have reacted very good at that age. The great thing I love to see about these kids is they're just sweet, God-gifted, talented kids that want to help children get an even start. So I love associate myself with it. This Yearwood's part of it. We have over 4,000 professional teammates now. So it's very sweet. We're very lucky to have this opportunity to do something that's hopefully good for the world's future by investing in the world's children. Pretty good. You guys are very sweet. That doesn't go with your skirt. That's a different green. Is that for somebody? We're gonna do this?
These are for you, actually.
Oh, great. All right. You guys want to come up with him?
Come, champ.
What is your name, sir?
Hey,
Oh, come on up. Yes, sir. You sure did. Was it?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
I do. It's a beautiful ground, and you said you'd take it to your house.
Right.
That's
That's-
the rodeo.
We've got it in the front room.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
This is for you. And it's
Very sweet. It can actually work for both of us.
Yeah, I'm now the Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan.
Oh, very cool.
Defending Canadian champions in women's basketball, but not football. But I thought
Shoot,
football players, football players.
You know what? I've been schooled by women's basketball players. I wear their jersey too.
Yeah, so that's 16, and we got one for Michigan too.
Oh, very sweet.
Thank you. So, on behalf of the
Oh, that's
University
very
of
sweet.
Saskatchewan.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's nice. I'll look at that.
I like it. You gonna take a picture?
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, let's get rid of these real quick.